What it do, bro? You made it. Yeah.
What's cracking, man? What's up with you? How you feeling?
Right here, just another day in paradise, bro.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Thank you
Just
for
having
having
kind
me.
of a
Thank you for having me on the show, bro. I appreciate it.
yeah, man. Nah, man. I had to. I kind of did this thing in the pandemic as something to kind of, how some people are just starting things in the pandemic. I didn't really take it that serious, but people started feeling it. So then I was like, I'm gonna keep it going and start really like showing people that I'm inspired by, So, thank you for stopping by.
Of course, man. Of course, man. I appreciate the invite. 100%.
Hell yeah. Well, I remember where I met you was and I was like, man, this dude's out here. He's holding this kind of space. You feel me? And I just was like, really inspired by the space that you hold. You know what I mean? In like for our community, and you know what I mean. And so that's why I wanted to get you on here real quick.
Word, yeah, man. It was, to get to where I'm at this point, it took a lot of, a lot of years, a lot of, just a lot of time, man. It definitely wasn't easy. So it's always dope to get some acknowledgement from somebody. So I appreciate your words, bro. That's super dope.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, let's get into it. Who are you? Where are you?
Uh, well, my name is Big Reid. I'm a radio host here in the Bay Area. I'm from the Bay, born and raised, been here my entire life. I was born in Hayward. I grew up in Oakland. So, I've been around the East Bay for a majority of the time. When I was 6, I ended up in foster care until I was 18. So from 6 to 18, I was in foster care the entire time, dealing with that whole situation. And then found radio through Chabot and Hayward. Chabot and Hayward has a dope
Chabot,
radio
oh, the
program.
college, the community
Yeah,
college.
Chabot
Yeah.
College. See, a lot of people
Shout
didn't
out.
know about it that much, but Chabot College got a dope radio program. They have like a whole radio station. So when I got in there, I was like, wow, like this is like a real life radio station. So I got super into it, super eager, was super hungry, just did everything I could. And then I started interning at 99.7, the station I'm at now. Did that for like 5-6 years, and then the guy who I replaced, Strawberry, he went up to Seattle to do a morning
Strawberry.
show.
I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember
for sure. Yeah, so
Strawberry.
growing up in the Bay Area, you know
Hey,
what's up.
and you're
You
right next to when I went to visit you and do that interview. You were right next to I think it's St. John Sophia's or
bro,
one of them. Bro, I grew up
yeah,
on him, dog.
exactly. So being me, like growing up in the Bay, I listening to St. John,
Yeah.
listening to Strawberry, being
Yeah.
in that building with them at some point. That's crazy to me. That was like just having a chance to be there was a huge accomplishment for me. So to get the opportunity to get the night show and to work with the people I do is dope, bro. Hundreds of people from across the country apply for that position, but my boss is he's Bay Area, born and
Shout
raised
out
as
to him.
well.
Isn't that's what Gary's brother, right?
Yeah, it's Jazzy Jim like that. He's the guy.
He is
Another
the guy.
Bay Area legend.
Hey,
Period. You know what I
both
mean?
of those brothers. Shout out to both those brothers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Gary's been in my corner for about 10 years now, just really advocating for me, helping me, and gaming me up when I need it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they've always been cool. But nah, man, the journey hasn't been easy. But I don't want to talk about the negative stuff. Obviously, everyone has their own journey and their own ways of getting through stuff. But I mean, it's worked out for me so far. So I'm blessed, bro.
And how do you guys feel about the whole? Because I was on the radio too, and some of the problems I had, bro, is just like because as a personality person is, and this has nothing probably has to do with you, but for me is it was hard for me like to not to cuss. It was hard for me to not speak my truth in that moment, and then understanding that I was part of something else. It wasn't all about me, you know what I mean? And kind of
Yeah.
having to understand that world, but at the same time, why the people follow me is for the same reason because I keep it real. So, how is it in those spaces? It seems like they got a lot of love for you over there, though.
Yeah, like it. Well, where I'm at, it's different. Cause I'm on a pop radio station. You know what I mean? But I grew up on Mr. Fab and E40 and Mac Dre and Too Short and the Delinquents and different artists like Bay Area heavy artists. So of course I have a different way of looking at things. And whenever I'm not on the air, my mouth is grimy. Not like disrespectful, but like I'm
But yeah,
cussing,
just
everything like that. And it's not easy, but you kind of got to shut it off and understand the audience that you have. And me primarily, a lot of my listeners are younger, like from like 13, 14 up to like 30, 40 people that are getting off of work, younger people who are in high school or middle school that are working on their homework that's got the radio on the background. So I take that into account with the way I handle myself. Like, I could be online going crazy, bro. Like, building all these followers, being super reckless, saying a bunch of, crazy things. But I know that, what's more important to me are those young people that use me as an escape to get away from whatever reality that they're dealing with. So I kind of like, just understand the position I'm in and kind of go with that and kind of like take that into consideration to see what's going on, with the people who listen to me. So it's hard. Trust me, there's a lot of times I get called to the office because I go a little too hard on the air. But usually when I do go that hard, that's when like I'm getting the most reactions. People are like, "Yo,
I
that
know,
was
and that's the
hella
hard
funny."
part though, right? To balance that.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro. So I've seen other people flourish and use that and stuff like that. But I'm trying to be in the Bay on the air for my entire career. I really don't want to go anywhere. I want to be right here. This is where I grew up, and I want to be able to impact these younger people in a positive way. But usually when I do go that hard, that's when like I'm getting the most reactions. People are like, "Yo,
I
that
know,
was
and that's the
hella
hard
funny."
part though, right? To balance that.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro. So I've seen other people flourish and use that and stuff like that. But I'm trying to be in the Bay on the air for my entire career. I really don't want to go anywhere. I want to be right here. This is where I grew up, and I want to be able to impact these younger people in a positive way and still be funny at the same time. Like I'm not corny, but at the same time, I'm not going as hard as I potentially could. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think I mean you got like you said the basically to know your audience and I think there's also like a bigger like you could say like oh okay well I could be 100% real, but it's not, it's like more strategic, like you know that you have a voice, you have a platform now,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's like there's I've learned with myself that it's better to be just a little bit more responsible with the light that's on you, because it lasts longer, you know what I mean, and you go further, you feel me?
Yeah, facts. 100%. 100%.
Like if I talked about a bunch of crazy things, dog, and got like a bunch of meme dudes and all kinds of things, I could, blow up overnight. But like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like just building it little by little with quality conversations with real people, what I mean, that's the best way for me to go about it, bro. Because I just feel
It
like
is.
I'm trying to be around nothing but like authentic people that are really in the industry also that are really trying to push together, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
what I saw when I was a kid when in the Bay Area. Because I feel like we kind of lost a little bit of that unity that I felt when I was younger. But
Facts.
who knows? Maybe I'm older. I don't
Nah,
know.
nah, nah, nah. You right. You're spot on with the situation. It's like my job, like, is to entertain people on the air, but also to create memories for people. So that's why, like, you'll see me doing hella like different events or different artist experiences and stuff like that, because those are the things that are gonna last forever. Like, just throwing up a meme that's slightly disrespectful but funny as hell is cool at the same time. But you're on it the right path. With what you're doing and how you're going about these conversations and stuff. So that's dope, bro.
Yeah, well, how I kind of look at it is I was inspired kind of by like Adam 22, DJ Vlad on it, but like no disrespect to them, but like it's like the two biggest hip hop names are white boys, and it's like no disrespect again. And instead
Mm-hmm.
of hating on them, I just want to like be inspired and add value because I just feel like they also are not looking at the Latino community. It's not just to look at the Latino, but in the Bay, we're so open to all races. But I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to create a little lane
Yeah.
for like fools that are coming up in the game. Like I try to be everybody's first interview. Like not you, but like a
Word.
lot of the younger artists, I'm usually
Word.
their first interview. You feel me? And I want
That's
to.
that's exactly how I got into it. How I started doing things with some of these artists. Like my when I got started, I was I was interviewing only Bay Area artists, and I was the first person to play a lot of songs on the radio, and they're popping off around the time. This is like 2011, 2012. So when those songs were really going off, they were coming through Chabot. Everybody was coming through Chabot at one point, and it's changed over the time because I'm not there. There's some other cats that used to be there that was really doing it, but it was always about like local artists. And again, like going back to like the Adam 22 and DJ Vlad, that's what they do. I'm not interested in doing any interviews that can get somebody killed. Like I'm cool. Like I've done interviews before. Like I remember I never
Dude,
posted an
thank you.
interview. I never posted this interview, but I did it. I posted one part of it, but I did an interview with the guy who found Thizzler, and I had a two-part interview. I only put up one part because the second part had a lot to do with some issues that were going on at the time, and probably would have gotten him in a bad situation. So,
Yeah.
you know, tons of interviews that I've done with different artists. Like I could have like really went in on whatever was going on at the time. I remember when I first got started, there was a song that popped off, and I don't want to say what song it is, but around 2011, there was a song in the Bay Area that was going crazy on the radio everywhere. Everyone was talking about, but two of the dudes that were on the song that were affiliated with the same group, they fell out with each other. And I interviewed them, and I could have like went in on that subject or talked about that, but I don't know. That's not my vibe, bro. I'm not an Adam 22 or a DJ Vlad. I don't want to know every single detail of why you got arrested and your plan when you thought about running into a house and robbing somebody. Because at the end of the day, you're just putting out all that information, making people who were dealing with that situation even matter, and creating a situation for yourself
Exactly.
that you gonna get dealt with. And I'm cool. Like I've never wanted to be that guy, and that's like the only time I've ever done anything similar to that was back early, and this is before cancel culture became a thing. I was pissed off at Soulja Boy, and
Sorry.
I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna play any more Soulja Boy music ever again because he said something like "F the military" and "F the troops" or something like that. And that was like one of my first videos, and I saw the reaction I got from it, bro. I didn't like it, so I just left it alone. I kept it moving on these subjects like that.
Yeah, bro. That's another piece of it is that how I see them. They're not from the streets. I grew up in the streets, bro. I'm from the streets, you know. So, and I'm not
Yeah,
nothing major. I'm just a regular dude, like from that grew up,
yeah.
you know. So, what I mean though is that they're not accountable to our community, and
Hmm.
so how I look at it is just like another white man in the middle of people of color, dividing them, making it look cool, you know. So, how I want to flip it is a person of color interviewing other people of color and white people too, you know. But and I even tell the homies like we ain't gonna talk about no politics. I talk like the police are right here. You know, I talked to them before, give them a little coaching, like, you
Hmm.
know, this isn't the platform to go viral and say some crazy things. This is I believe that your audience will stay with you longer if you have a conversation and they see you being a real person. You know,
Facts.
because a lot of the rappers are showing all that, you know, bop, 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 they do the same dance, you know what I mean? But it's like I want to show that they have something because I do think it takes a lot of courage to put
Hmm.
yourself out there, you know, and that's another question I had for you. Like, when did you have you always been very like social or you know, for us, it's like for me, it's not hard to do this, but some person was like, he was telling me like, bro, I don't have the confidence to just be chopping it up with somebody. Like,
Yeah.
did you always have it? Did you build? Tell me a little bit about that, about your kind of being a social
To
person.
be honest with you, as I've gotten older and as I've gotten more into this business, I've become less social.
Yeah,
I
right?
used to be way more social. I used to have a lot more friends and different things like that. But I've kind of like put myself, not necessarily. I don't feel like I'm better than anybody, but like I feel like I don't know. Like I have my group of friends that I hang out with and everything. And when it comes to these interviews and these artists, like I know when to shut it on and shut it off. You know what I mean? Like I know when to, I'm an introvert, bro. I'm just to myself. I like to play Madden. I just like to kick back and just chill and not really do too much. So it's not easy to put myself out there. You know, I don't think it really is for anybody. But at the end of the day, this is the career path that I've chosen and what I've tried to do. Like I said, I have a group of like 5 to 8 solid friends that I reach out to and we kick it and do things and different things like that. But other than that, I'm more of like a just to myself kind of guy. You know what I mean? So, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
just gotta
nah, I
push
feel
through it.
you. I feel you. I'm actually like, it's weird. Everybody thinks I'm the social butterfly and all these things because
Hmm.
when I'm on, I don't know, I'm just on, bro. But and it's not fake. It's true myself. It's like I'm on. But like because it takes so much to be on for me, I think I'm really into whatever I'm doing. I'm really into it. Like I want to be at home by myself, watching Netflix, chilling out, smoking when relaxing. You know what I mean?
Kicking it,
Uh,
bro.
yeah, just
Kicking
chilling,
it.
man. You
That's
know,
it.
yeah, because I'm always out there. I'm like, I don't want to go to the club. I don't want, oof, no, like I just, my life is the club. You know, I'm a social, my life is so social that when
Hmm.
I'm done, I want to kick back eventually with a wifey. You know, I think she just came on too, and I just playing.
Bro, bro. You do a lot of events. You're out. You're taking photos. You're videoing. You're doing a whole bunch of stuff. How many events have you seen me at?
I haven't seen you
You've
once
never
yet.
seen me anywhere.
I've only seen you at your work,
Bro,
at
that's
the
all I
radio
do,
station.
bro. I go to work, bro. Like, cause I have like, I'm blessed to be at a
Shut up, mate.
station that has some of the dopest DJs in the Bay, and they're
Yep.
doing the biggest parties. They have the biggest club events going off, day parties, nighttime stuff, all kinds of things going on. But like, they're like, yo, come through, come through, come through, bro. I've probably gone to one event in the last 3 years, bro.
No, I mean I'm at all these things that I don't see. I've
I,
never seen. You're right. I didn't think
bro,
about
I'm
that at
touched.
all.
When they be like,
I
"We
know.
outside," I'm not outside, bro. I'm at the house. I'm chilling. You feel
I'm
me? I'm
inside,
chilling.
man. Yeah, no, I'd be out there too, but I'm just happy that I'm out there. Like I go, to be honest, I go in and I go out. Like I don't, you know how I don't kick it after. And the thing is, I don't drink or
Absolutely
do,
not.
and I don't drink anymore, and I don't like I don't partake in coke or any of that kind of lifestyle. So
Woo,
after
oh, some
doing,
of these pop concerts, and it goes down, and I'm
I
like,
gotta
oh
go with you
hell
to one of
no,
those.
I
I
gotta get
haven't
up
been to
out
one
of
of those.
here. I'm so cool, bro. I'm cool.
Yeah, I used to be a Bruno Mars's photographer, bro. And so,
Oh,
yeah, back at like 10, damn, is it, no, not 10 years, like 8 years ago. It was kind of around the time when he got caught up for coke and stuff.
oh,
And yeah, bro, and it was cracking because that's the closest, like, I mean, he's pop, I would call that pop, like major, you
yeah,
know, like,
yeah.
but
He
like,
just dropped a new
but
song last night.
yeah. You know, there's a song called Locked Out of Heaven, Locked Out of Heaven.
Hmm.
I'm the cameraman in the crowd, you know what I mean,
Oh,
shooting.
word. That's what's up,
Yeah.
bro.
And
That's
I don't even
dope.
remember what year it was. I was so out of it. And
That was
there's
a
a
big song. That was a big song for him too. That's huge.
bro, there's a scene where there's a photographer dancing up at the top in the backstage and drinking, and they said that they said they that was for me to say because I used to party, I used to have my camera thing and be drinking and have coke in my pocket and a strap. I was like a crazy little photojournalist in Hollywood,
Damn,
bro.
bro, you tripping?
Well, it's because I was also like in the hood taking pictures, like street, like real
Yeah,
photojournalism, bro, like in South Central and Watts, and so it was just more for protection too, like in
for
terms of
sure.
like, but because I did like international shit, homie. I went to like foreign countries and shit,
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
you got to be careful for sure.
Hey, shout out to my boy Zabe 300, locked down, but not his mind not locked up. You feel me? You're gonna be out
Absolutely.
soon.
Shout out.
That's my boy right there. Shout out to everybody in the comments too. Feel you and the wifey, bro. I'm out here, dog. I'm trying to get married, homie.
Hey man, get it, do it, bro, do it.
No, it's just like I'm done, man. Like you were saying, kind of about like I'm done with the whole scene and all the girls. I just like want to give me a bad one and relax, homie, and just keep making my art and then being inspired by people like you and other people. You feel me? Just relax.
Man, it's good, bro. Just like I grew up similar. I grew up in the neighborhood too, but you feel me? Like I wasn't no gangster. I was always a funny fat dude around a bunch of gangsters. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
every group has one of those guys, and that was
Hey,
me.
but everybody protects that guy too, though.
You feel me? Trust me, bro. I've needed it. I've needed it, and it's coming handy. You feel me? So it's always been a good thing.
Yeah, so hey, so who are some of the people that you kind of look to, in the industry and kind of any shout outs or people that just have helped you kind of because it's such a, what's one of the deepest things for me is when people help me or like Black Sea for me is one of them, like from
Hmm.
RBL, like, and there's just a couple other people, bro, that they just don't have to offer interviews. They don't have to like get me in places or do things for me, but they just fuck with me, And so are there any people that kind of fucked with you in the beginning that you feel like real good about?
Yeah, of course. There's obviously Gary Archer, Gary, Jazzy. They really rock with me. They've shown me. Obviously, Jazzy gave me my first job in radio, so that's all. They've always been super dope to me. A lot of the OGs in radio, like Strawberry, St. John, Chewy Gomez, like they really rock with me. They really show me love. You know what I mean? A lot of them have helped me out. My guy DJ Tussy has always been very supportive of me, and my homie Ellen. Like those are my solid people. My guy Juan, who's in the comments, making sure I say his name, has always been a super early supporter. When I was just in the kitchen messing around with virtual DJ, acting like I was on the radio. You feel me? So you know,
Yeah.
it's those people that have been around this entire process and seen me go from working 12-hour shift graveyard shifts for a security company, waking up, going
Ooh,
straight
that
from
part.
7 at night till 7 in the morning, sleeping in the parking lot of Chabot for 3 hours, going to class from 10 to 3, and then getting on the radio from 3 to 6, sleeping at work for an hour, and then going back again from 7 till 7 the next morning. You feel me? Taking a shower in the gym at school. You feel me?
That's
Like so,
hell yeah.
like it's people that's been around for those type of situations, and a lot of people they don't get to see that work. They don't get to see that grind and stuff that goes into it. Because when I popped up on 99.7 when I took over, a lot of people were like, "Yo, who the fuck is this guy? Like, where did he come from?" You know what I mean? Like, I've been out here, bro. I've done over a couple thousand interviews. You know what I mean? With damn near every artist in the Bay Area. It's been a little bit different with my connection to Bay Area artists as of late, and I feel kind of bad for it. But then again, I don't, because a lot of these cats won't even share a link sometimes. So that was kind of annoying. But
That part.
yeah, that got annoying, bro. But
I'm
You
just
know,
like,
there's some
damn, bro, don't you
artists.
guys remember like when you were not, like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
There's
so
definitely
surprised
some
sometimes because I'm
artists.
like, this could help you, bro. Like, we're gonna blow you up, bro. What are you talking about?
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, like my interviews, like when I was first getting started, like I may not generate all the views in the world. Like we may only have 11 people watching this, but one of these people are going to see a certain clip or a certain portion of this interview. They're going to share that with someone else that's dealing with something else that's going on, and that's going to inspire them and possibly change the way they do it. You know, I had a lot of artists that really showed me love, like Mr. Fab. Like Mr. Fab is my big bro.
Yeah, he's a
He's
homie.
I've known him for almost 20 years. He used to come to my group home, bro, and play Madden with us and rap with us. So, you know, he's always shown me love. He would show up and freestyle. My videos would go viral because he freestyles, everything like that. My guy Love
First DJ
Rance,
to break Loverance. Was that who said
you know,
Loverance?
you know, KML gets a love on that one because obviously they're a bigger station. But it was Chabot at the time, man. My guy Love Rance, he had the biggest song in the Bay at one point, period, for years, for a couple years too. And he always came back for an interview, bro. Always came back, always showed me love. And you know, there's a bunch of other guys I can mention different things like that, but those are the main ones. Yeah, Stanley, he's one of the kind. Mr. Fab is that dude. He don't just put that stuff that y'all see on social media. Like he is really
Oh yeah.
really that guy, really taking care of people. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a dope era, man. I feel it. I feel it. And I was always wondering, you always wonder. Sometimes you know how you sometimes you don't want to meet people because you're like, you don't know if they're gonna. Because I met some people that I look and I was like, oh, I wish I would have never met them. But I met Fab many times now because he's part of Gager and man, he's been nothing but supportive. And I just like fools that just, they were at like, they're the same that they're at 5K, we're at 100K or whatever, in
hmm
followers or whatever, like they're the same person, dude. And that's what's beautiful. You feel me? And he
And,
brought his uncle in there, to blow it up. He
oh
blew his
yeah,
uncle, you know
yeah. I
what
haven't met
I
Unky. That's crazy. But Fab's the dude that'll remember you too. Remember your name, and he might not be all in your social media liking everything, but y'all run into each other. He'd be like, "Man, I see you take that dope ass picture of such and such the other day, man. That was crazy." He's like, "Bro, you didn't even like it. Like, what are you talking about? How did you know that?" But he's just online, just paying attention to everything, seeing it. Like the last time I ran into him, he was like, "Yo, this, and this." I'm like, "Bro, like I ain't talked to you in 6 months, but thank you." You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So, he's a good dude for sure.
And then also about like just being in the pop space, like I think it's actually really important for you to be there. You know what I mean? Do you ever get shit for being it? Do you ever not? Because how I look at it is now we need more people there so that we can build
hmm
more bridges into like say you're a Bay Area and you're a guy from the Bay, you're a man from the Bay Area, you feel me? You got love for the Bay. It's important for people that got love for our area to connect with these people from, I mean, that guy Wang or wherever he's
Oh,
from,
Jackson Wayne, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're from like way out somewhere else, you feel me? So
hmm
it's like I wasn't even connecting, bro. I was gonna do like a major pop star in China, bro, but we don't have the language barrier, so we're trying to figure it out. But I'm talking about like 5 or 10 million. I'm gonna show you his profile because you probably
Yeah,
know who he is. And he wanted to do the interview, but we're like, damn, how are we gonna do it? Because he literally doesn't know any English.
yeah. I've interviewed some groups, some K-pop groups that don't know any English, but they have like a translator that's talking to
Yeah,
me all the time.
but I
But
was like
not like
on live, it'd be a little harder, I think.
yeah, for sure. Nah, as far as the pop space go, me and Jazz, we were just talking about this yesterday. Like that's what makes me different.
Yep,
Because obviously with the competition, and I'm not going to mention them because they don't get no free mentions from me. But
of
with the
course.
competition I have in the Bay Area, it's like I'm the only kind of dude on the air on a pop station in this country. There's no other big dude from the hood that's talking about Justin Bieber. It's just not a thing, bro. So
Hmm.
that's what makes me super different. Like I'm very aware of everything that's going on, and I bring those different ideas and that different, that type of, information to the table. Like whenever we have something going on, like I can talk about every single thing that's happening. Like as far as everything that happens surrounding George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement, and just different things. Like I'll
You
stop the
got range.
radio.
You got
Yeah, bro,
range.
I got all the range in the world, and I think that's what sets me aside. So have I gotten any issues from it? Nah, because as Strawberry was leaving the station, he basically passed the torch. Like he was
That's
like
dope.
on his IG live with some of his longtime followers, like, "Yo, Big Reed's the guy. He's going to be this," and we didn't even know I was getting the job at that time. You know what I mean? There's people that were in New York applying for this job that worked at big ass stations. So, he kind of passed the torch, and I've always been about my listeners. Like I did this thing with this website, All Access, and they asked me questions. And the things that's the most important to me, and it's the people who listen to me every single night, because if they don't listen to me, then I don't have a job, bro. So that's why I go as hard as I do for my listeners. And we got these different group chats, the Hype Squad group chats that are comprised of a bunch of young people, like 20, 30 young people in each one of these chats. And, sometimes I'll be in the studio with an artist. Like, we have this group, Why Don't We? It's a pop band. And, like, I'll be hanging out with them backstage. And that particular interview, we actually had one of them go to the interview and help me with the interview, right? So that's an experience. And then, like, I'm FaceTiming this group of all these young people on IG, you could put a bunch of people in there.
Yeah.
I got the band talking directly to them. Or I got an artist in the studio. I'm like, hey, I'm going to FaceTime them real quick. Can you just say hi and just what's up? And that just makes their day. Because, it's just a way of me showing my appreciation to the people. So as far as me coming into this pop space, I used to listen to NSYNC back in the day, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Bye.
You feel me? I know what's up. Like, I know what's going on. I can tell you every name of every member of One Direction and Fifth Harmony, and I know it all, bro. I know it. And a lot of the reasons why I know these different things are because of my listeners, because they're on me. They're on me. I see my homie Shroud in here. Says Life of the Soundtrack. She hits me up about Fifth Harmony stuff all the time. Well, individually the girls, because I support, because they went their separate ways and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I support those girls individually. So they're on me and they're like, yo, this is the next artist, this person, this person, this person, this person. So, I've been accepted into the pop world. Other people, may not see it, but in the Bay Area, they love me for it. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I think, but I also think that just you being there, it makes it feel like, oh shit, well, we can get up in there. And also, it's okay. You can be a dude from this area and interact with all kinds of people, brother. Because me getting a master's from USC, me going and traveling, bro, traveling, seeing the world, it makes you open to communicate, be open-minded. And people like put down pop, and I'm always wondering, like, how can you put it down when they're the most popular, fool? Like, are you tripping? Like,
Bro,
you gotta acknowledge it somehow, you know what I mean? Relax. You're just mad
pop's
because you
different,
ain't that
bro.
pop. You're not that
It's
popular.
different.
But it's also I know that there's a whole machine around it and all that. But in the end, like when people are popular, they're popular. You know what I mean? You got to kind of at least honor that, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can any of the funny stuff you can always influence it in a good way.
Yeah, and you gotta try to stand out and be different. So that's why I think that's part of the reason why my boss hired me, because like I'm so left field that people are like, yo, who is this big ass, dude on the radio talking to me about, whatever's going on. You know what I mean? So I think that's part of the reason why I got the job that I got. But it's cool, man. I'm repping for the Bay.
Hell yeah!
I'm
When
all
I
about
walked
the Bay Area.
Yeah, when I walked in there, I was not. Well, I was expecting like some, I don't know, whatever. That just shows you even my own prejudgments. You feel me?
Oh,
But it was.
you thought I know what you thought you was coming there. I was gonna have a flannel on and some squared
It's gonna be
glasses.
like a hipster
You
vibe,
know.
on the radio. And you never know with the voices, you know what I mean? So I just, but then when they told me, and then or when I met you right away, I was like, cool. And then I mean, I saw how you guys get down over there. I was like, wow, I was inspired, bro, because I kind of got hurt by the radio. Sometimes you get hurt by, just because like. Because I was on the radio station, bro, and I made it the most popular show, bro. I like literally like bring them back from dying, because a lot of radio stations are dying. And because I mixed the Pocho live show was an original radio show, and I would just go live, Bay Area, we go live, and I would go live too, so I could interact the social media and the radio at the same time. But what would happen is, like I started speaking on things, and it is what it is. But we're still cool. I believe in not burning bridges, just being like, hey, you guys are part of a structure that has sponsors, and I totally get it, but I also have to be true to myself. And so I left. And then when the pandemic hit, bro, everybody before that was like, hey, you should change your name, maybe just like some photography show. I was like, nah, man, that's my name. I'm gonna keep it. And then boom, I was at the park with my dog. I can go live with people. The Pocho Live Show, boo.
Facts.
And so
Facts.
it was created, you know what I mean? So I appreciate you again, man, for supporting in the early stages.
Absolutely, man. Burning bridges is a part of the process, to be honest with you, because I came out the gate burning the biggest bridges possible. I was like, I remember because I wasn't having it. I was
Oh,
hot.
the
I was on
DJ?
social media going in.
The DJ?
Huh?
You talking about the DJ?
Yeah, talking about when Chewy Gomez
Yeah.
got let go, I was hot,
Oh,
bro.
Chewy. I thought you said Chewy. Yeah, but Chewy, no, I know. I heard about that. I
I
actually talked to
was
him, man.
that was years ago, and like I went online and I was like, you know what, woo 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 woo, and then they were like, yeah, we ain't never hiring him.
Yeah, he inspired me a lot. It was actually in his DM saying thank you because that fool was on CMC. He was the first vato that ever talked like. I mean, there's people that look. There were a couple that looked like me on TV, but there was
Hmm.
nobody that one that talked like me. You feel me? And then
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
you feel me? Like I could be my older cousin or my little Theo or something, and
Hmm.
I just like somebody like me who I never thought to be on the radio. I just have also kind of not been as afraid as other people to do public speaking, or I kind of just don't. I have a fuck it button that I don't give a fuck at a certain point, and I just do my thing.
Hmm.
So radio was came easy to me. But bro, there's so many things you gotta learn, like not saying I be saying I had to learn how not to say and
I
keep
still do.
going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How did
I
you do
still
it? Did
do
you
it.
learn any of that, or do they? Because I didn't get any
Hell
training.
no.
I didn't get any training
Nah,
on that.
my college station, like I love my college station, but we didn't really focus, what, probably my teacher did focus on that and I
But
just
you
wasn't
didn't.
having it.
Yeah.
Because at the time I was just about, I want to build this. Because at the time it was a Loney college that we were going against, where I was like, I don't want
Baloney.
Loney to exist.
Yeah.
Like, we need to be everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. Like, we were showing up to their events and like 20 deep with like Chabot radio shirts on, walking through the event, just tripping. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like, I was more focused on other stuff that was going on, but I probably should have like, kept it a little bit more chill and probably focused more on, the words and stuff. So that's probably why I have issues now. Because I say, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll be like, one word I say all the time, I'll be like, anyways, and like, I got to stop saying anyways, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Do
That's
you
killing
have
me.
people always joke because I come in a lot of times like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Because it's not that but it's like I need something to come in and get back. It's not my get into my personality. I don't know how to explain that, but like get into my vibe. And there's certain words that I use to get into my vibe. I don't know if you do that or you
Hmm.
just in there, but yeah, I have to kind of say something to myself like it's on, homie.
Oh man, bro, I be listening to Bay Area music before I get on every day. I got my AirPods in. I'm slapping like some hype. I'm super hyphy, bro. Like I'm all
Yeah,
about all those songs. Like like I'm really Bay Area. Like all the artists, you feel me? And that's all I listen to before I jump on the show. So I'm listening to music, drinking a rock star. I shouldn't be drinking those rock stars. My big ass need to stop. But just energized, ready to go and talk about Taylor Swift. You feel me? So
yeah. Hey, but it looks fun up in there with all the sound effects and everything. I'm like, I started missing it a little bit. I was like, oh,
it's
the one
bro.
I just shared when you were dropping, like just boom, boom. I just like how like radio stations create all that. I thought that I've always loved that, because I wouldn't create none
Oh
of it.
man,
I would just speak over it, you know what I mean? Or under it,
we
I don't know.
blessed. We got St. John, bro. St. John's that voice that we all grew up with. We
Hell
all know when he
yeah, you
come
got
on the
that
air, we
voice,
know what's
son.
up.
That's why, hey, honestly, I was like a little, like I met major celebrities, but look, you gotta understand, like Bruno Mars, he's a major celebrity, right? But I met him in the industry. I was older, but St. John gets to my childhood. You feel me? That
Bro.
I was fanning out. I was watching him, dog, like just to
Mm,
watch him. Like
when I
I'm not gonna lie.
when I interviewed for my internship in 99.7, the guy, he was a producer for the morning show at the time. His name was Jason. He was like, "So how are you around celebrities? Like, are you cool? Like, look, you could put me in a room with any celebrity, Lil Wayne, whoever. Like, I'm gonna be good. Like, I'm chilling. I'm not gonna be a groupie or fan out. But if I get around St. John, I'm probably gonna stutter a couple times and trip because again, like, these are people that you grew up listening to. Like, as soon as Chewy left the station he was at, like I don't know how we did it, but we got him to come to Chabot and get on the air with us.
Damn.
So I have an old interview with me and Chewy, and like, you could hear it in my voice. You could hear me scared as hell talking to Chewy on the radio, introducing him and stuff like that. So it's like people like Chewy Gomez and St. John and Strawberry, and some of the DJs. Like I trip, bro. That's who I trip off of. Like I've been around some of the biggest artists on the planet right now, and I
Yep.
don't I don't worry about it. But like when it comes to these radio jocks, I still be tripping, bro. I still be
Yeah.
tripping.
No, there's certain people, even Fab when I was just getting to know him, I was like I was tripping because I was like, oh, I'm feeling some type of way, and I was just around an LA celebrity and or not LA, but
Hmm.
Hollywood celebrity, and
Yeah.
it's like whatever because you kind of it's sad to say, but you get in the industry, and they're not cattle, but it's kind of like
Oh,
it's
they
rough.
robots. Some of them are robots, bro. I've been around a few artists that that you're
Even the
like,
crews
damn.
are rough too, even the entourage. I'm like, oh, the energy.
Oh man, they worse than the artists, bro. To be honest with you,
Yeah, yeah.
because they, they
So
they feel more entitled than anybody.
right? I was tripped out about that, like, bro. And then what I always love is when, like, I've met, like, I have a pretty, not close relationship, but pretty close relationship with Jim Carrey, bro. And that fool is like the most chillest dude. Rolls a Bronco
Mhm.
with his assistant. He drives assistants in the passenger seat. Like so rich. Like his Twitter, his background is my picture, and you know, I don't know how to explain it. Besides, when I got over my, in living color, like all that stuff, he's such a chill ass dude, bro. You would never,
Mhm.
and it just feels so good. So it's like a breath of fresh air when you meet. I don't know if you met like like real popular people,
Oh,
and
I
they're
have.
on the other
Yeah.
end, they're hella cool. They're like, no, come here, kick it, it's cool. Like,
While there's a bad side of it, sometimes there's also good sides. People that are cool, and the most random people would be the nicest ones. Like Robin Thicke, probably the nicest dude I ever met. Um, I met Uncle Joey from Full House one day when I was an intern.
oh shit.
So they were like, "Hey, can you go downstairs and get Dave Coulier?" I was like, "Who the hell is Dave Coulier?" Like, all right, like they were like, "You'll know who he is when you see him." And I went downstairs and I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for Dave," and he stood up like, "It's me." I'm like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" And dude ended up being the nicest person. He ain't no huge celebrity or anything like that, but a lot of us obviously seen him on Full House and different things like that. And then there's like Logic, the rapper. He's hella cool. I remember seeing him at our Poptopia concert. He walked into the room. There was like 20 people in the room. He stopped everything and walked up to each person and introduced himself by his first name and asked them what their name was. All the people, bro. And like, obviously that's a nice gesture, but artists typically don't do that. And my brother
Yeah.
mentioned I met Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans is the coolest person on the planet, bro.
Yeah. I met
Did an
his
interview with him. The
older
coolest,
brother.
coolest count, man. His brother, Sean, hella cool.
I met Damon Wayans, and I met him at this. I used to live in Santa Monica in LA, and there's called the Daisy. He would always eat there, and
Mm-hmm.
I would eat there, and then eventually we started, not just a little, chop it up here and there. And I was a kid, bro. I was really young, like 18, 19. I could, and he would talk to an 18-year-old, just off the
Yeah,
strength.
bro. A lot of these cats are really cool. Like a lot of them are good. And there's some people that you'll run into that may not be nice. You know what I mean? Like I've had my share.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
like Mike Myers is an asshole. And I'll say that on the I'll say that on the live,
yeah.
bro.
Nice.
I
Hey,
was
we gotta.
surprised. I was so disappointed.
Hey, no, there's a couple of people, bro. I was like, oh, but then you never know what's going on with their lives, and as even us being having a little bit of light, I always try to give a little compassion to like just I do understand how it is watching people gawk at these celebrities. So I always try to like I don't want to be the one that's like, oh, I'm so cool, I'm not gonna acknowledge you because I think that's kind of weird too. But
Yeah, I get that.
just like, yeah, dude, you're super awesome, and I fuck with your energy, but I'm not gonna be like on you like everybody else.
Hmm.
It's like it's just like a balance.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, man. So
For sure, for sure. Well, tell real quick. I just have two more things. The one thing is, how are y'all dealing with the social media? And it seems like you guys are making a pretty good transfer over to social media, or like a balance kind of thing, right? And some stations aren't doing any social media almost at all. How do you guys feel about social media and radio, and or how do you feel about it? If not, because I can't really speak for your
the
company, but.
station the station I'm at has been a social media monster for the last 10 plus years. Like before I even got there, they were doing things that nobody was doing. A lot of the stuff that you see people doing now is basically a copy. Now, obviously, different people are going to do different things as they grow and they develop and different things like that. But 99.7 specifically, even before I got there, it was a problem on social media. Like they were the first ones going viral and different things like that. And that's how the station, because 99.7 is a relatively new station. Not anymore. It's been around for over 10 years now. But when they came into that space, they were a new pop station. At first, they were like a throwback station. It was moving 99.7, then it developed into 99.7 now, which is the top 40. So they had to do whatever they could to knock down the monster that the guys who. So really quickly, the people who were at 99.7 that built 99.7 to what it was the same people that built our competition. Was the same people that kicked it off. Because you remember where St. John and Strawberry and Jazzy were at before they were at 99.7, right?
Of course,
They were at those other people's spot. And that station's still riding off of their success
of
10,
course.
15 years later.
Because they had a cult
So,
following over there, bro, like me.
yeah, exactly. And it was built off of the old days, right?
Every day, dog, every day.
It was built off the old days and the old things that used to happen over there. So, with that being said, when 99.7 became a thing, they had to find a way to stand out. So that's why they became such monsters on social media, and they started believing in different artists. They were putting One Direction on the radio before anybody even cared about their existence, really. And they ended up becoming the biggest group in the world at the time. And I'm doing something similar with BTS. Like before BTS, obviously they already had a huge following, but I've been premiering every single one of those guys' songs for the past 4.5, 5 years. And now, next thing you know, they're the biggest group on the planet. So it's all about being ahead of the curve and just trying to, set those things up early. So with social media, that's a given. We're on it every single day. There has to be a post that goes up. If there's not a post that goes up, you're getting an email, you're getting pulled into the office. Like I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. Bro, everything, bro. And honestly, like I'm tired of it. If I'm being honest with you,
Hey,
I'm
it can
so
get
tired of being
it can
on
get
social media.
oversaturating though, right? Don't you feel
Bro,
sometimes?
it's
Like,
it's just it's just a lot of pressure. It's like not wanting to say the wrong thing because you could say the wrong thing to piss off the wrong person,
get
and
canceled, bro,
then get canceled or whatever. Like
or whatever. Yeah.
I had any issues like that, and I'm pretty tame with what I post on social media. But like it's draining, bro. Like I'll play a song, and then someone, like for example, last night somebody mentioned me like, "Oh, you're not gonna play this person's song because you're against their age. It's disgusting." It's like, what do you mean? Like that song's not on my playlist, fam. Like I don't really control all of this stuff, but social media is stressful, bro. Just being on it every single day, and you scroll down Twitter and you run into like 15, 20 complaints that people have. Like they were just like mad about whatever's going on, and then you got to take it. Everyone else's problems, and bro, it gets overwhelming. And honestly, like I wish I didn't have to be on social media, because if I didn't have to, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't exist on social media.
Well, I think the main problem is that when we grew up, bro, we grew up is even if there was cheese drama, like you and you heard it from other people, eventually you would see that person and they had to be accountable for it. Even if they ran
Yeah.
off, right, they would get embarrassed. But now we don't have that accountability, so they can say anybody can say anything and you have to take it or not. And the second you fall into that and fall into it with them, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's over because they got you once you start replying back and all that.
Yeah, because I remember I replied back to something not too long ago, and then like next you know, someone else replied like, yeah, whatever, and then the next person, then their 5, 6 friends were like, yeah, you tell them, sis. I'm like, I just can't play that right now. Like, what you mean for? It's all good. It said, Reid, you can always block that person. I'm not into blocking people. You can talk to me all you want to.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I sometimes then you block them and they get a new account and it's like, you
they'll
know what I mean?
screenshot the fact that you blocked them, and all their friends will tweet you and be like, look, yeah, you can't take it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like anything you do, anything that if the sky's blue, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
just,
look, I just ignore it.
yeah, I've only blocked people like on the live if they say something super disrespectful.
Hmm.
Ex gang, like a gang member from another side said like F my dead homie, and I blocked him for that, because I just didn't want to.
Yeah,
That's sad, But I know that if he was a real one, bro, he wouldn't be on here looking at my live. He'd be in person with me, But it is what it is.
exactly, bro. They're not going to be on your live. It's just people be weird, bro. I block people on my lives too that I do most of the time, but like, usually they haven't really been saying too much crazy stuff lately, so it's been cool. It's been chill. This pandemic has been weird.
So when I tell them to, voicemail why they call back, but it's all good. Hey, shout out to my boy 6400 from Texas, man. T Swiss Latin in the building. That's right. Gabriella, Tony, Smokey, a gang of you fools. Much love, Trap Baby. Got an interview soon. But yeah, bro, any last shout outs before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, I think we really jumped into it. I appreciate you having me on the live and asking me questions. I usually don't, see this side of it. I'm usually the one asking questions, so it's always cool to, just talk and just, then coming up with all the the questions. Because sometimes you'll be in the middle of an interview and you'll have a little dead space of quietness, and then these things virtually be weird already because the delays and the sound might cut out and someone's like, what? And you're like, oh, da 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 da, and all this kind of stuff. So it's always cool to be on the other side of the interview spot, bro. So I appreciate you having me on, you feel me, and showing love and different things like that. It means a lot, man, because a lot of people, I've been doing this for a while, and a lot of people don't realize it yet,
Oh no,
but
bro, I'm feeling it, homie. Now, and I appreciate that. Now, like for how I look at it is it's the live experience. Sometimes people don't have the right Instagram. Sometimes it cuts out. Sometimes the visual's a little messed up. But how I look at it, it's like a trap interview. Like I'm trapping it, you know. Like
Yeah.
I'm trapping a lot of kids that would never even be down to do interviews, but they trust me and they know that I'm not gonna make them embarrass them or ask them about their
Yeah.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
about girls, or you know, get them caught up online and things like
Yeah,
that,
like
like some
when you
people
kicked
do.
open that door, bro, like what did you look at the camera or not? And what time were you there? You
Fucking
feel
that's fucking Adam 22, man.
right, bro? He tripping, bro. Like I'm telling you, like, that's why I don't do interviews like that, man. I don't want to be responsible for anything that happens to anybody or any cases that get opened up or anything. This is weird, man.
Yeah, well, I'm doing this little vlog thing and it might be connected to something bigger in the future. So maybe one of these days I can come kind of follow you in one of your days and just see what you guys do out there, you know, and then put it out, you know, whatever, and then show you all and everything. It's like a vlog connected. I'm also working on Gold Toes, and we might have something cooking in with HBO, like something major. But
That's what's up.
I'm bubbling it with a vlog first to just kind of bubble and kind of because how I'm seeing is I'm in the middle of all these dope people, you know, and my life is kind of fun, bro. I get to go around take like could take pictures
Fact,
of dope, inspiring people and hang out and smoke blunts in the bag and not drink and not do those things. And so because I'm more confident and more healthy now, I feel like I can portray our people in a better way, even the music industry. And because there's a lot of, you know, like you were saying, there is also a lot of good people in these spaces
facts.
too.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people that just they get overlooked because they're not trying to be reckless. You know what I mean?
Well, I would want like I'd want to interview the brothers, like why they believed in you, you know, like ask him why he believed in you, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because
You know what? I would
I know that too.
love to know the answer, bro. Because
Hell yeah.
sometimes we get discouraged with what we're doing. There's been plenty of times in this last year where I was like, "Yo, am I about to get fired?"
Yeah,
Like, you know
yeah, I
what I
feel
mean?
you.
Like, so you always wanna hear positive things, man. The reasons why people show love. So that's always dope.
For sure, man. Wait, the next, if you have like a big interview or anything that you guys want, I can always come document it for you and do like a little summary video for you or anything, just
Word,
on the strength, no charge, just love, you know.
word. I appreciate you, bro.
For sure, man. All right, man. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate you for stopping by. You feel me?
You. All right,
All right,
yes, sir. I'll talk to you soon, bro.
all right, bro. Have a good day.
All right,
Peace.
peace out. How I lead this? I don't know how this works. All
I
right,
got you.
peace.